Hello students, in the previous session we learned about writing chemical equations. Now in this session we shall be learning about how to balance chemical equations. First of all, we will look at this chemical equation, that is the burning of the magnesium ribbon. The magnesium ribbon Mg plus O2 was giving MgO. Now in this chemical equation we can see that the number of atoms of oxygen are not equal on the left hand and the right hand side. So such a chemical equation in which the number of atoms of the elements used are not equal is known as a skeletal chemical equation. A skeletal chemical equation is an unbalanced chemical equation. So whenever we write chemical equations, we cannot write skeletal chemical equations, we have to balance chemical equations. Now what is the need of balancing such chemical equations? The need is because of the law of conservation of mass, which we have already learnt in the previous classes, where we saw that what did the law of conservation of mass said? It said that the total mass of the elements present in the products of a chemical equation has to be equal to the total mass of the elements present in the reactants. In simple words, we were defining the law of conservation of mass as mass can neither be created nor destroyed. But here we can see that the number of atoms on the left and right hand side of this equation is not equal. So this means that this particular equation is not following the law of chemical conservation or law of conservation of mass. So that's why we have to make that equation follow the law of conservation of mass, which means that the total mass of the elements present in the product side has to be equal to the total mass of elements present on the reactant sides. So that's why we will be balancing that chemical equation. For balancing chemical equations, there are a few steps which needs to be followed. Let us look at them. The number of atoms of each element remains the same before and after a chemical equation. We will be seeing this, and how we will be balancing that equation we will look in this session. Now for balancing equation, as I told you, we write the skeletal chemical equation first of all. Then after writing the skeletal chemical equation, we draw boxes around all the elements, all the reactants and the products present. By drawing a box, we mean to say that whatever changes we will be making in this equation, they will be outside the box. Outside the box, that means we will not be changing the molecular structure of the reactants and products. We can only add atoms, number of atoms outside. So there will be no change in the molecular structure. That's why we have drawn boxes around them. The next step is to draw a table. In this table, we write elements, number of atoms, second column is number of atoms in the left hand side, and the third column is number of atoms in the right hand side. Now we will write the number of elements present in this particular reaction. So we find that which are the elements present in this reaction? Mg and O. So I have written the number of elements present in this reaction. Now we write the number of atoms present on the left hand side. For Mg, the number of atoms which were present on the left hand side is 1. So I have written 1 here. Then number of atoms present on the right hand side for Mg was also 1, MgO. You can see here MgO. So we have written 1 here. Now number of atoms of oxygen on the left hand side was 2, and number of atoms of oxygen on the right hand side was 1. So I have written 1 here. So this means that the number of oxygen atoms was not balanced. There was only 1 atom on the right hand side, but there were 2 atoms on the left hand side of oxygen. So this means that we need to balance the number of oxygen atoms. For that, what we will do is we will multiply the right hand side oxygen atoms by 2. So this will become 1 into 2 is equal to 2. Now because this oxygen on the right hand side is occurring along with magnesium, so we need to multiply that also by 2. Remember, we are not making any changes in the molecular structure of MgO. We are only adding atoms here. So what we have done? We have added a 2 here. So this means that number of magnesium atoms also becomes 2 on the right hand side. Now what has happened is that the number of atoms of magnesium is 2 on the right hand side, but it is still 1 on the left hand side. Number of oxygen atoms is 2 and 2 on the right hand side. So what we will do is, to balance the number of magnesium atoms, we will multiply the left hand side magnesium also by 2. So when we multiply this by 2, so number of magnesium atoms on the left hand side becomes 2, on the right hand side is 2, number of oxygen atoms on the left hand side is 2, and number of oxygen atoms on the right hand side is 2. So in this way our equation has equal number of atoms on the left and right hand side. So we write a 2 here and we write a 2 here because we have multiplied it. Now the last step is we remove the boxes and we only write the numbers of atoms which we have added. So our equation becomes now 2 Mg plus O2 gives us 2 MgO. You can see the number of atoms on the left and right hand side of both magnesium and oxygen is equal. So now this equation is a balanced chemical equation. Let us see some more examples of balancing chemical equations. Next reaction is Fe plus H2O gives us Fe3O4 plus H2. We can see here that the number of atoms of Fe on the left hand side is 1, on the right hand side is 3. Oxygen also is 1 on the left hand side and 4 on the right hand side. So the number of oxygen and iron atoms, Fe atoms, are not balanced. So this is a skeletal chemical equation. We need to balance that equation. What we will do is, first step, we will draw boxes around it. We have drawn boxes around all the elements, the reactants and the products. Now we will draw a column, elements, left hand side, right hand side. Elements, what are the elements which are taking part in this reaction? Fe, H and O. Number of atoms of Fe on the left hand side, 1. Number of atoms of Fe on the right hand side, 3. Number of atoms of hydrogen on the left hand side, 2. Number of atoms of hydrogen on the left hand side, 2. Number of atoms of oxygen on the left hand side, 1. Number of atoms of oxygen on the right hand side is 4. So this means that the number of atoms of oxygen is not balanced. So we need to balance them. Iron also needs to be balanced. So what we will do is, we will start balancing. Now before we start balancing, we start from, where do we start now? So we start from that molecule which has the highest number of atoms. So as you can see here, Fe3O4 has the highest number of atoms. There are 7 atoms in Fe3O4. Besides that, H2O has only 3 atoms, H2 has 2 atoms, Fe has only 1 atom. So we start balancing from that molecule which has the highest number of atoms. So this Fe3O4 has highest number of atoms, so we will start balancing from here. Now what we do is, because O is 4 on the right hand side and O is only 1 on the left hand side, so we will multiply the left hand side O by 4. When we multiply this left hand side O by 4, we also find that this O is existing along with hydrogen. So this means that we have to multiply H also by 4. So what happens is, now when we multiplied this H and O by 4, our equation now looks as Fe 4H2O gives Fe3O4 H2. So what we can see here, that Fe is 4 atoms on the left hand side and Fe is 4 atoms on the right hand side. Sorry, oxygen is 4 atoms on the left hand side and oxygen is 4 atoms on the right hand side. This means oxygen is balanced now. We have balanced oxygen by multiplying it by 4 on the left hand side. We also multiplied hydrogen, as I told you, on the left hand side because hydrogen was existing along with oxygen. So we multiplied it, but what we found was that hydrogen now became how much? 8, 4 into 2, 8 atoms. So hydrogen is 8 now on the left hand side, but hydrogen is still 2 on the right hand side. So this means that hydrogen is not balanced. Now we need to balance hydrogen. So what we do is, we multiply the right hand side hydrogen by 4 to make it 8. As you can see here, we multiply the left hand side. The left hand side hydrogen was 8. The right hand side hydrogen was only 2. So we multiplied the right hand side hydrogen by 4 to make it 8. So now what we can see is, what is the change which has occurred now? in this equation? Fe is still 1, 4H2O gives Fe3O4 and 4H2. So, hydrogen is 8 on the right hand side and hydrogen is 8 on the left hand side. Oxygen is 4 on the left hand side and 4 on the right hand side, that means oxygen and hydrogen both have been balanced. But still you can see Fe is 3 on the right hand side and 1 on the left hand side. So, now we need to balance ion or Fe. So, what we do is on the left hand side Fe we will multiply by 3. So, Fe was 1 on the left hand side, we multiplied it by 3. So, it becomes 3 now, and the right hand side Fe is already 3. So, finally, how our equation will look? 3 Fe plus 4 H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4 H2. Now, here we can see that the number of iron atoms equal number of hydrogen atoms equal 8 8, number of oxygen atoms 4 4 equal. So, now this equation is our balanced chemical equation. We remove the boxes and we write the final balanced chemical equation in this form. So, thus we have learnt how to balance chemical equation. So, it is actually balancing is a trial and error method. We need to keep on trying by multiplying, and if it does not, then we need to add new numbers here. Then we will see one more example of balancing of chemical equation. This example is a little different. The equation here is PbNO3 whole twice plus Ki gives PbI2 plus KNO3. Now, why I said this equation is a little different? Because you can see here that there are polyatomic ions used here. So, when in an equation there are polyatomic ions, so I use a little trick that I use this NO3 or that polyatomic ion as a whole atom, or when we write that column, in that we do not write N and O separate, because if we write N and O separate, then for balancing it will be little confusing. That is why what the trick is, that if on both sides the same type of polyatomic ions are existing, then we take that polyatomic ion as a whole atom. Okay. Now, we start balancing this. What we have done, first step, we draw boxes around all the elements, products and reactants. Then we write the number of name of the elements which are there in this reaction, Pb, K, I, and as I said NO3 will be taken as a whole. So, lead, how many number of atoms of lead on the left hand side? 1 on the left hand side and 1 on the right hand side. Number of atoms of K, 1 on the left hand side and 1 on the right hand side. Number of atoms of I, 1 on the left hand side and 2 on the right hand side. Number of atoms of NO3 taken as a whole, NO3 2 on the left hand side, but only 1 on the right hand side. So, this means that the number of atoms of I and NO3 are not equal. So, this is a skeletal chemical equation. We need to balance this equation. What we do is, as I told you, we start with that molecule which has the highest number of atoms, because PbNO3 has the highest number of atoms. So, we are starting with this. Now, what we do is, we write NO3, we see NO3 is 2 on the left hand side and NO3 is only 1 on the right hand side. So, what we do is, we multiply the right hand side NO3 by 2. Now, because this NO3 was existing along with K, so that means we need to multiply the K also by 2. So, our equation now becomes PbNO3 whole twice plus Ki gives PbI2 plus 2 KNO3. Remember, we multiplied NO3 also by 2, and because NO3 was existing along with K, we had to multiply K also by 2. So, this becomes our equation now, but still we can find that the number of iodine atoms is not equal. It is 2 on the right hand side and only 1 on the left hand side. So, this means that we need to balance that equation, balance the number of I on the left hand side. So, what we do is, we multiply on the left hand side to balance that I, we multiply it on the left hand side by 2. Instead of taking I can also see that K is not balanced. So instead of balancing K, instead of balancing I can write K balancing. So I have written to balance K, what we can see on the right hand side it was 2, on the left hand side it was only 1. So what we did, that we multiplied the left hand side K by 2. So when we multiplied the left hand side K by 2, because K was existing along with I, which was only 1 on the left hand side, so we had to multiply the left hand side I also by 2, and already we can see that it is 2 on the right hand side. So this means that the number of iodine atoms also becomes balanced. So our final equation becomes PbNO3 whole twice plus 2Ki gives PbI2 plus 2KNO3. So in this way we can balance such chemical equations where there are what polyatomic ions also existing. So in case of polyatomic ions, as I told you, we can take that polyatomic ion as a complete one atom. So that will not create confusion and balancing will become easier. So in this session we have learned about how to balance different type of chemical equations. As I told you, it is a trial and error method. We will try to balance chemical